Here's an addendum to the question about whether the YIMBY movement should broaden and expand itself into a more general urbanist group or even a political party, or whether it should stick to its roots and remain narrowly focused on reforming land use regulations and other direct impediments of building new housing. One of the things that I think has certainly been in the case in Texas and quite possibly other states that have had success recently reforming some of their housing laws is the fact that not only has it been a bipartisan issue, we've had support both from rural areas and more urban areas. And this is because people, I think, have seen, at least to some degree, that YIMBY isn't just an urban issue. So one of the arguments that really resonated in Texas and enabled us to expand our tent to include even people like farmers and ranchers, people that live in more rural areas, is that they realize that by letting cities develop and densify and become more city-like, that's actually going to save more of the natural environment. We see exactly the same arguments being successfully made in Montana as well, where they have areas of pristine natural beauty that they don't want to see carpeted over with sprawl. And the way to prevent that when so many people want to move into the state is to let their attractive high destination cities, whether that's Billings, whether that's Helena, whether that's Bozeman, anywhere else, let them, densify and people build more housing there, so to preserve the natural beauty of the rest of the state. That's a very powerful argument, I think, and it's a way to make YIMBYs out of people that, live in rural areas and really don't care about cities, don't want to live in cities themselves, don't want their own areas to become like cities necessarily. And I think it's important, when we're having this debate about the future of YIMBY, we need to remember that. And this is another reason why I think I'm right and the other side is wrong, is because we need to keep the tent big. If YIMBY is to evolve into just a more general urbanist group and start, taking positions on public transit, a bunch of other things, even social issues, and generally move in what I imagine would be a more progressive direction, you're going to lose a lot of that, right? People in more rural areas, like that people of a more conservative persuasion a lot of the time aren't going to resonate with that so much, but they certainly will resonate with the idea that one of the best ways to preserve the natural landscape, to let truly rural areas stay more rural, is to let cities and the areas where people want to live densify and let the housing be built where jobs and opportunities are, and that will stop some of that sprawl being pushed out. So I think that's another strong argument on my side of why the YIMBY movement should take a lesson from what's worked so well here in Texas, where I am, and other similar states, and keep being a big tent with a narrow set of goals, rather than doing the opposite and trying to become another all-purpose omnicause, which I just don't think works very well. Though, what do you think? I'm curious, if you think I'm wrong, please tell me in the comments. I'm always happy to be corrected by other people that have different views, but I'm pretty convinced that I'm right on this one, but do let me know.